Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a really fascinating blueprint straight from a comprehensive Coursera guide, and we're mapping out 11 powerful ideas into a complete, step-by-step roadmap for building cash flow. And honestly, the absolute best part about all of this? We are designing this entire journey for someone starting with exactly $0.
Earning money in your sleep. It's the ultimate dream, right? But let's be real for a second. How is anyone supposed to actually achieve that if they don't already have a massive mountain of cash sitting in a bank account just waiting to be invested? Well, that is the exact puzzle we're going to solve today.
Okay, so before we build anything, let's get on the exact same page about what this actually means. When the source material talks about passive income, we're really talking about building an engine. You put in all the hard work up front, maybe it's a creative trade, maybe a digital product, and then you step back. You let it collect payments over time with little to no daily maintenance. Basically, you build it once and it just keeps running in the background.
Contrast that with what most of us are used to. With active income, your standard career or a typical side hustle, you're trading your time directly for a paycheck. You're paid continuously, sure, but only for ongoing work. The guide actually notes that if you need quick cash, active income is always your go-to. Passive income, on the other hand, is a completely different strategy. You're literally decoupling your time from your earnings. You do the heavy lifting up front and collect payments later without that continuous effort. So it's definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a very calculated long-term play.
So here's the roadmap we're taking today. We'll kick things off with the zero-budget trade-off, then move into Phase 1 with creative hustles, scale things up in Phase 2, and finally hit Phase 3, the end goal, where we transition into capital-heavy assets. All right, let's tackle the elephant in the room right away, the zero-budget trade-off.
How do you actually start generating passive income when your bank account is practically empty? Well, here's the golden rule of this entire roadmap. If you don't have the cash for a traditional financial investment, you absolutely have to rely on sweat equity. The source emphasizes that building passive income with no money is totally possible, but it requires a very specific trade-off. You're essentially trading your upfront time, your existing skills, and your boundless creativity in place of actual dollars.
Think of this as a three-step journey that forms the macro view of our zero-budget roadmap. Step 1, you invest that time in those skills. Step 2, you use them to build digital products which cost practically nothing to create. And then Step 3, you eventually take the actual cash profits from those digital products and reinvest them into traditional wealth-building assets.
With that framework set, welcome to Phase 1 Creative Hustles.
This phase is entirely focused on ideas that require absolutely nothing but a laptop, Wi-Fi, and your own creativity. The guide breaks this down into 6 super accessible starting points. If you're naturally organized, you could sell worksheets on Etsy or Teachers Pay Teachers, or build productivity templates for Excel or Notion. If you're more artistic, you might lean into print-on-demand services, or sell stock photography on places like Alamy or Shutterstock. Or, if you love communicating, there's self-publishing through Amazon's Kindle Direct Publishing or diving headfirst into content creation on YouTube. The real beauty here is that these are open to almost anyone. Let's look at the actual realities of selling organizational systems, like worksheets and templates. The massive pro here is the incredibly minimal overhead. They're super easy and inexpensive to create. I mean, you could spend a single weekend designing the absolute perfect budget tracker in Excel and theoretically sell it to thousands of people for the next 5 years. But you got to be mindful of the trade-off. It takes time to build momentum, and the platforms hosting your files are always going to take a cut of your sales and fees. Now, this next one really illustrates the power of the modern digital economy. What I find truly fascinating about print-on-demand or self-publishing today is that you literally never have to touch a cardboard box. No inventory, no shipping tape, complete creative control. You design a shirt or write a book, and a third party prints and ships it only when a customer actually buys it. But the catch is steep. Because there's virtually no barrier to entry, the market is packed, meaning you are entirely responsible for heavy self-promotion and marketing just to stand out.
Then we've got content creation and stock photos. This is awesome if you want high creative control without the hassle of constantly pitching to direct clients. But you absolutely have to navigate the hurdles. Selling photos involves legalities and platform fees, and YouTube's strict requirement of hitting 1,000 subscribers before you can even join their partner program. That is the ultimate example of sweat equity. You are doing a massive amount of work up front for literally zero pay before that passive income engine finally kicks on.
Okay, let's move into Phase 2, Digital Scaling. Once you've mastered the creative hustles and generated your first few online dollars, it's time to scale up. We are seriously leveling up here. These next 3 ideas still don't require huge piles of cash, but the barrier to entry is higher because they demand a real step up in your technical skills and digital marketing. We're looking at creating an online course on platforms like Thinkific or Teachable, coding a mobile app for the Apple App Store or Google Play, or mastering affiliate marketing using search engine optimization.
With online courses and apps, you get to highlight your unique expertise and reach a massive global audience. However, the sweat equity here is intense. Filming a high-quality, comprehensive course or hunting down bugs in a newly coded mobile app is serious, labor-intensive work. Plus, this isn't a completely hands-off process. Apps require ongoing maintenance, constant updates, and the app stores themselves charge pretty hefty fees on your sales.
Affiliate marketing is another absolute powerhouse in Phase 2. Think of this simply as earning a digital commission. You weave unique product links into your content and use search engine optimization, or SEO, to pull in free traffic from Google or other search engines. You've got high earning potential and an endless range of products to promote. But again, building that web traffic takes a lot of time. And SEO isn't just set it and forget it. It requires constant updating and maintenance to keep your posts ranking highly.
And that brings us to Phase 3, the end goal.
Once those digital zero-budget streams from Phases 1 and 2 start flowing with actual cash, you finally have the capital to reach our ultimate destination. Now we're talking about the traditional heavyweights of passive income highlighted in the source, owning a rental property, and making financial investments in the stock market, mutual funds, bonds, or peer lending. You couldn't do these at Step 1 because, well, they actually require capital. But now, thanks to all that sweat equity you put into the first 2 phases, you've arrived. You finally have the funds to participate.
But the ultimate irony here is that even these capital-heavy end goals have their drawbacks. Yes, real estate and financial investments offer incredibly lucrative, high-growth potential over the long term, but real estate requires property upkeep, a leaky roof doesn't fix itself, right? Meaning it still requires some of your attention. And for financial investments, you might have limited access to your funds in the short term. It just goes to prove that no income stream is 100% effortless forever.
Which brings us to our final thought for this explainer. The Coursera guide makes it incredibly clear. If you lack money, you must invest effort. The path from $0 to a robust portfolio of investments is entirely possible through the digital economy. So looking at this roadmap, you might have a zero budget today, but what skills are you going to invest to take your very first step? The blueprint is literally right in front of you. The only question left is, what will you build first?